You're the Earth Elemental, you have great potential. Join me and we could rule the full villages and the other field of villages in the land of elements. I don't really have them in my schedule, so why not? Stone, stop right here. I would like to tell you a story. The 8 villages of elements being the villages of fire, stone, water, air, lava, smoke, storm, and of iron, founded by the Sema-Holko, the North Lord, and the Alkage, the Blue Shadow. The first people who learned to excite their natural energy, and also being the only people who have been able to find 2 objects that can match their energy flow. As for the North Lord being able to excite his natural energy flow to match that of the object, therefore keeping his energy within, controlling it, he is able to manipulate earth and fire, while the Blue Shadow, with the ability of water and air manipulation, using the same energy extraction process. And knowing the world might use their powers for evil, they settled wars with their powers and began to bring together the Commonwealth and formed many villages, which they named after the main means they had used to bring together the villages. The 4 main villages of elements, as they are called, are easily identified. The Pacific village of lava was brought together when a volcano became active during a war, and with the North Lord's mastery in elements, he manipulated the lava flow. Having to end the war, he threatened the warriors to live together in peace, proclaiming it the first Pacific village. He left the village to be headed by both the heads of the clan warriors who had fought, and so on. He made the village of smoke, the village of storm, and the village of iron, with the help of the Blue Shadow. The North Lord and the Blue Shadow had decided to settle down, and the North Lord got married to a woman who had the mastery of healing techniques, and the North Lord gave birth to a child he named Hiryu, meaning fire dragon. He inherited the North Lord's flaming energy, and the North Lord was left with his energy of stone. He began training him to use it rightly. 5 years later, he gave birth to another son, his last son, whom he named Chishin, meaning earthquake. And when Hiryu became of age, he made him the leader of the village of fire, and Chishin leader of the earth village, being in charge of the feudal village of iron, while the Blue Shadow running and leading the villages of water, air, storm, and of lava. After all this time, finally got married to a woman who had been a follower of the smoke monster while he was still a man. He became an intangible smoke monster. She was a master of mind techniques, and years later they found a helpless child while wandering the village of water. And then Jishin became jealous and decided to draw together the men of the village of Earth to fight against his brother and all other villages. And so the war began. Using his earth techniques in the war, he tried to win the battle, but Hiryu, who had fought him very toughly, had won instead, and Hiryu's descendants then became the North clan, while Jishin, who had died during the war and his body had been sealed, his only son, whose descendants became the earthen part of the North clan, Blue Shadow's descendants, the Shadow clan.